Welcome back to Digital Paul Workshop for another time-lapse Thursday. Today we'll be doing a sci-fi theme lamp in the form of transformers. It doubles both as a nightlight and a prop for your figure's display. Without any further ado, let's log on in. So what I got right here is a set of those snack jars from Dollar Tree, the ones that share like the same lid, 2 jars, 1 lid. And I'm creating a hole here because one of the things I tried to do to create, trying to figure out how I was going to do this, is I was trying to figure out how to keep the jar turning when I put the resin in so it can coat the inside of the jar evenly. And then I finally figured out, well, I need to run the wire through the bottom of the lid, or through the lid anyway for the lighting. And so I figured I'd just go and cut it now. Here, as you can see, my homemade lathe I'm making. I'm using a drill. This one actually I think is my dad's drill because I couldn't do it with mine quite as easy. But used a twist tie to slightly pull on the trigger, and I just had to keep adjusting it for trying to get the speed. Because you get it too, not pull enough, it won't turn, but you pull too much, it turns too fast. Now here I am going ahead and making the resin. I'm about out of this now. Originally I kind of want to do this with a deep pour, which probably would have been a little bit easier, but it just cost me too much right now to buy those because they come in like gallon jugs. Oh yeah, where I was working at, the lighting wasn't that great where I could see and I'm kind of eyeballing the height of this, trying to get these to be about the same. So that's what I was doing here, is eyeballing it. Now one thing I kind of need to do eventually is probably get me some plastic cups that I can reuse instead of using these ones for the bathroom, the mouthwash cups. And that way I just label them where I can keep track of which one I use for what. Because as long as you keep the same which version of the resin in it, you don't worry about it hardening anything. Now the dye I use here is the one I think I tried in my original preliminary test video, and it took a lot of dye to actually kind of get the green tint. And what's weird is I bought this one offline, and I think it's supposed to be more of a fish one, and the Dollar Tree ones I bought don't require quite as many drops. They're a little bit more concentrated. Now when I originally did this, I originally did it when I did my preliminary, I think it was my preliminary test, and I kind of just put it in just to see what it do, and I realized you had to keep turning because I couldn't turn, because after you get to a certain point it gets very hard for that stuff to constantly move. Also I bought this one here because I tried my lighter with my normal lighter, and I ended up kind of melting the plastic. You have to be careful doing this because the heat will melt this plastic, and I was trying to get some of the bubbles on out, and so I kind of did it back and forth, the lathe. Now if I didn't say it, I did have this drill connected to an outlet that I had on a dimmer switch, so that to try to control the power. And this is basically how I try to keep. And now for the first hour, or at least for the first 45 minutes, you didn't have to really do this because it takes a while for it to start solidifying. But afterwards, and I kept turning it off and on to try to see what things were doing, and even going in and try to get some bubbles out. Now taking a little snap or dipping cup or whatever they had that was in these little snack jars, and I'm going to use that to raise this little Optimus Prime figure. I also got it at Dollar Tree. No, Dollar Tree is not sponsoring this, but that's where I'm kind of getting a lot of some of this material from. And figured, now what's interesting is some of the earlier Prime figures they had were a little bit more detailed, probably because of how price inflation has gotten. This one, I don't remember if I bought this one from the Dollar Tree or bought this from Dollar General, but I ended up buying one of the little LED lamps from Dollar Tree and one from Dollar General, and I ended up using parts and stuff from both of them. I ended up using the light and I think the switch from the white one, and I ended up using the battery pack from the black one. So yeah, sitting here drilling, realized my largest bit wasn't big enough. I had to go over to my dad's workshop and get this little step down bit or whatever it is, and I really had to sit here and practice. I probably should have just went ahead and measured the thing, because the reflector piece has a set of I guess kind of feet or something, and I'm trying to get them to fit in that hole that helps secure it. One day I was going to use the reflector. Now it's time to do some wiring. Well, I said I'm going to undo some wiring. take off this. I end up using this later on in the project, as you'll see, but I end up taking off some of the. I mainly was trying to get the LED and the fuse. And what's good about this is I was able to re-see what I did. I think I ended up putting the blue wire back on. Yeah, I think that's what I'm doing here. I'm putting the blue wire back on, so I figured I was going to might as well keep it and then just take it off of the battery itself. That way I got something to stick through the hole. And I end up having later on, when I go to actually sort this thing, take it back apart and resort it because some of the things good. So yeah, testing some stuff out to see how things work, how things look. Let's see. I don't think a single one of those works. So I think I'm going to be using a 9-volt. Yeah, just using 9-volt just to try to see how, make sure everything kind of is working. See what I want to actually do. I thought about coating the stand that prime instead on it in the resin, but I decided not to. Yeah, use the alligator clips. Let's see. And that's one thing I realized is the thing was really bright, so I figured I'd put the little plastic thing on this. That's from, I think that was the black LED, to try to see how it looks. See if it diffuses it just a little bit, so it won't be quite so bright. I ended up having to take that piece to the shop. Yeah, right here. I was trying to cut that, and boy, you want to talk about a hard plastic. Now, to be fair, this box cutter is not sharp. That's the one I use for breaking down those foam core doors that I use. Even my hacksaw, you can try doing some stuff with it. So I ended up just taking it to the shop and just grinding it down. Now, it took me a while to figure out how I was going to do the base here. And so I figured I ended up just taking this scrap piece of PVC pipe we've had sitting. You can tell it's been sitting and weathering. If you watch my Halloween lamp video, I used another scrap for that one. These were like leftover pieces that we have held on to. Now, initially I put this on, I probably should have put on a little tighter because it did come loose. Because one thing I do worry about with cutting even PVC pipe is worrying about, because if it's round, it's going to slip. I don't know if it ever will. Me trying to just be a little careful here. As you see, it came off. Because I only need like 2.5 or 2.25 inches. I didn't need much. Come over here and kind of knock off some of the stuff. It did not do a clean cut. And you kind of can see there, it's not even perfect clean. I was just trying to knock off some of the stuff. That's the same grinding wheel I used to clean up, to cut down that edge of that stand I got for prime. Now, probably really didn't need a white coat of paint on some of this stuff, but I just wanted to make sure, because the lid I use is a white and the PVC pipe is a different white, and I did not want to affect that when I go to add the purple paint. So I just sit here and spray paint everything. I ended up finished using this up because I forgot there were some other pieces I needed painted white as well, and I kind of did that off camera. And of course I didn't bother painting this. Now this I think is some sort of drain piece. Let me make sure I got it about high. It was part of a drain piece I picked up at the bin store for like $1. Go ahead and kind of glue this in with the I forgot what they call it. This is the model airplane, because since I'm doing plastic, sit here and kind of get it in, make sure that way I don't move. The whole point of keeping the black ringing is to kind of keep it somewhat centered when I go to actually place it on the, well, it's partly to keep it somewhat centered when I place it on the PVC pipe, but as also is to hold the snack cup lid, because if I did not have that there, it'll just go all the way through. So that is the main purpose of doing this. Okay, now as you can see, I'm covering the PVC pipe. Now the other part that came, I think there was another part that came with this drain piece, and I think I stuck it aside and saved it for something else. I'm not 1% sure if it's the one that came with this or not, but I believe that's what this was. It's like for maybe a garden. I don't know if it's for like a swimming pool. Oh yeah, here's a lot of those little toys I picked up from Dollar Tree, the different accessories and sets, and kind of going through and figuring out what do I want to use, what do I want to put in place. I figured that might be an interesting little control panel or screen that could be used to display some stuff. Thought about these fans, didn't end up going with them. I just stuck this there. I do not know what it was going to be used for. Maybe it's some sort of block to keep somebody from walking around that end. Now, I ended up using a couple of these little vent things from some of those little sci-fi action figures. I think they're supposed to be like jetpacks or something, but they work great for vents. And I think I used them in the Mega Man diorama. I've kind of actually come to like using as accessories. Which means I may have to pick up some more. Oh yeah, these are from one of the car wash sets. I was trying to decide, do I want to use them like some sort of energy primer, but because the way the thing is, I kind of needed 5 of them. I only had 4, so it didn't really work out. But this is the process for doing most of the diorama stuff, is when you're sitting there trying to figure out how you want to decorate things. Yeah, the fan worked. Now if I put it on the back side, it'd be been better. I was trying to think what else something else going to do. Oh yeah, I had to make these holes bigger because I want to put the some sort of repair arm that was come from one of the garage sets of the car sets that I picked up at Dollar Tree. I figured it'd be good, just some sort of decorative piece. Not necessarily, I guess you could say, apply energy to the thing. That really have no specific purpose other than make it look a little bit more sci-fi and cooler. Give it some detail. And I put in some of the glue to try to help hold this place. I went in and made some holes for some stuff that get the fix in. Yeah, kind of had to spread some stuff around because I wish I had a way of easily filling in a lot of those gaps, but I don't right offhand. I can kind of theorize maybe using had I used what was it, sawdust earlier, but hindsight's 2020. So I really didn't figure out. I was trying to figure out how to do most of the control panel here. Okay, as you can see, some of the stuff's now getting another coat of white. Kind of before I go put the purple on. Now the lid there is also from the car wash that they're also doing a piece of wood. And I kind of did a coat earlier, and then I'm doing a little secondary coat. Now here we're doing the purple because after all, this is going to be a Decepticon control theme, and I don't know the exact purple that they use, so I just went and grabbed the purple from Walmart. I couldn't find none at Rose's or any place else, and so I ended up having to spend, because a lot of times you can find it at Rose's for like $2 sometimes the color paint, or $4, whereas Walmart's like $6 or higher. So sit here and kind of get everything a nice coat of purple everywhere. And it took some moving around and getting some stuff done. Oh yeah, this is actually some, I want to think this was some RCA coax wire I'm using. I don't necessarily know what type of wiring to use, and so I just went through the scrap pieces I had. And since I'm not going to be running but like 4.5 volts, I figured it'll work just fine. Not something I'm going to be having on all the time. It's more of a decorative piece. It doubles as a lamp, but also as a diorama, so you can use it with your figures. And you're sitting here and keep having to drill out the hole and keep trying to do the different sides. I did a small hole first. Well, I started to do a big one, but I went to do a small one because it seems like whenever you do this stuff, you can do a small hole first and then the big one. It's good, but it was a good thing to kind of start the big because make sure I have plenty of room from the base of the edge there. What's going to be the console desk. And so I sit here and I kept having to play around. Okay, run the wire through. And now, yeah, these some of the old-fashioned stuff. Now, I went and got a few of the string wraps from my dad to keep on hand since I've been doing some of this stuff lately. And I had to do some stuff off camera because trying to do it while recording and doing it right is a little difficult. But this is the on-off switch I took off earlier, and boy, you want to talk about, every time I went to try to soldered this thing, my arm, when I touched it, it would move. The arm would not stay put. And so, boy, this was a headache. And it might be because this thing's kind of getting worn. It's not the ideal. I've had it for years. Use the thing again to kind of get the shrink wrap down. Not necessarily really needed it here, but it's more to kind of help hide the wire than it is to protect it from anything. I didn't want to keep a flame too hard, and a little bit of glue to help keep it in place. Just pushing the wire all the way through. And this is the base here. I'm taking off some of the stuff, and I put the like the switch and the LED aside in case I ever need them for anything else. Because I mean, those stuff are still good. I just don't know what project I'm using. The only reason I went with the switch from the white LED light is because it's a better design. It looks more like an actual button you would use, whereas the one that came with the black one looked like it's one that's supposed to be inside something. So I use my new wire strippers. For certain things, they work great, and for some other things, my old ones work better. So I keep switching. I think I paid attention to how it was set up, and I even went back to my old video to see how things were, so I knew how to wire the light. But right now, I'm just simply wiring the wire up. As when I go to actually wire the light in is where I pay attention to see where everything is at. So I put some tape in to kind of fill in the gap a little bit, because the PVC pipe is a little bit more bigger than the base of the inside of the light. It's not, the base of the light is too big of this, but the inside is just fairly the right size. So I had to go in and glue everything down. I put the batteries in so I can kind of see where everything is, so I can use it to test. But it ended up coming up that when I went to solder some of the stuff, I had it, or at one point it wouldn't light up, so I stopped recording at the moment to see what the problem was, and it was like one of the wires had came loose on the actual light itself, so I had to go in and solder that back in place. Other than that, pretty much I kind of got everything correct. I just didn't have that one. I actually had to take that back off to see if it was somehow that broke loose. But nope, it was the wire attached to the actual light. Oh yeah, it was supposed to be, I think that's when it's supposed to be, supposed to be glowing. There we go. This was after I did all the testing. See, this time I only just did it on one side, I didn't bother. Now I didn't bother gluing that piece down because in case I ever have to get in to do any work. So we're gluing the top on now, and so we can put it on, as you can see. And like I said, I didn't glue the snack jar to the thing because I don't want to get any work on it. And so we kind of get this kind of facing forward. And now, without any further ado, let's see our final product. Dun 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 dun.
How is the new console working out, Tarantulas?
It works out great, Breakdown. For now, I can analyze the Autobots even better, finding Optimus Prime's weakness. Now we will be able to conquer them and take all the Energon for ourselves.
Good. Megatron will be pleased with this.
And of course, this little sci-fi theme lamp is going to go right on the shelf with my Transformers figures to give them something to hang around and decorative. And hopefully this gives you a little bit of an idea of what you may want to do or make in the future. It could be a diorama or a prop piece for your figure collection, or just something you want to decorate your room with. And if you like my content, you go to these websites right here to support me in various ways. Links to some of these are in the description, as well as like, subscribe, and share this video with anyone you think might find it interesting. And if you like my video here on making a diorama that serves an actual purpose, you might want to check out my video over here. It is called Autobot's Communication Antenna Hub. It is where I make a basically antenna that look like an Autobot communication base for my TV. And so you can see how I made that there. Until the next time, have a nice day.